All right, Sejune, I got this clip here from Coach Rizzardi of you playing in a game, and we just thought it was interesting on your techniques and tactics on playing these zone entries and players coming down the wall with the puck. And we're just going to kind of compare these clips with some other NHL clips and see if maybe we could kind of maybe add some different ideas to kind of how you're playing. As you can see here, you're way outside, you're near the top of the circles when the puck's at the other end, and then you got to rush backwards type deal. And the problem with that is that if the puck ends up on the other side, it's going to make it tough to be on angle. Here you can see from one of our goal crease videos on a zone entry, Darcy Kemper starting back on the goal line. And then once he realizes the puck is coming to his glove side, he's able to step out on angle and challenge the play from his goal line. So he lets the play come to him versus when you're out here challenging out, you've got to try to hustle backwards, and then if you got to move left or right, if that puck comes down the glove side or something, you're just going to lose track of where the net is behind you. And you kind of want to end up looking something like this a lot of times where you're able to stay square and on angle when the puck moves down the wall or side to side. If you're challenging way out there versus starting on the goal line, like I said, you have a lot better chance of just losing where the net is behind you. That's why you see them do post taps, and that's why we have you do post taps and glove taps and stick taps on the post at the crease, because we want to reinforce that habit. So here you can see you challenge out, and when this player comes down the wall, you see there's a lot of net that was open to that blocker side initially. Now, you had great timing as far as where you ended up by the time the player shot it. You're pretty square and on angle between the posts, and you were just in a good spot by the time they released it. But as you can see, when you step out, there's just a lot of skating you got to do to try to get back on angle. Here's Devin Levi doing the exact same play almost. And you see he's just not challenging out nearly as far. But because of this, he ends up being a lot more square and a lot more set. There's not a lot of skating or movement going on when he's following the player coming down the wall. And there's a little bit of blocker side, as you can see, because the play is moving, so he's playing catch-up. So you're not going to be exactly on angle with the puck the whole time. But same thing as far as with you, is that by the time the player shot it, he was square and on angle. But you can see he's a lot more set compared to you right there, where there's just a lot of skating and movement. So there's a lot less chance of you being set. Similar play right here with Thatcher Demko. Player comes down the wall, and he ends up coming out a little bit, but he's just kind of holding his ground a bit more because he knows they're going to have to shoot. And there's not really a chance for a breakaway as far as like for a deke or anything like that. Here's another play where the player's coming down the wall. And again, you're challenging out really far, and there's a lot of skating backwards. But you can see there's a third guy coming in late that he might have a chance to kind of pass it to, whether he gets down low right here and drops it to him, or if he were to pass it to him a little earlier in the zone. And if you challenge out that far in the initial rush, it's going to be a little bit harder to move laterally. I will say great glove save, though, right there. There's great tracking of it and everything like that. But compare that to this, again, very similar play. Players coming down the wall, and this player does pass it back to this player trailing in late. You can see Markstrom challenging outside his crease. He's backing up a little bit, and that helps him move across laterally. But if he was too aggressive initially on the rush, that's going to be pretty tough for him to move across right there. And again, here you stepped out and challenged, but again, you probably don't need to challenge that much. Now, here's another play where a player's coming down the middle, and you just see you're way outside of the hash marks and stuff. And the good thing here that it worked out is that it ends up kind of being like a mini breakaway. And you compare that with Devin Levi right here. He comes out and gets set, and he kind of thinks shot first because this guy's being pressured by his D. But then he's still able to retreat backwards once he realizes, oh, this is going to turn into kind of a mini breakaway, and he might be able to get around me. So he challenges out and he gets set, but he can still retreat back and play that possible breakaway that happens. Where here, it's a straight-on breakaway. He's out to the hash marks. He's challenging a lot more now because this is a clean-cut breakaway. And he's just got to worry about this one guy, Kachuk, who can not only shoot, but he can go around him and deke. And I know your dad talked about that too, as one reason challenge out is that, you know, the players might have a lot of speed and skate around you. And that definitely is a possibility, though, depending on the play. If there's players between you and the puck carrier and they're pressured and it's going to force them to have to shoot, you want to take advantage of that type deal. Here you kind of do that. You don't challenge out as much. Okay, you're still out there playing aggressive, which is good. but you're definitely not as far as you were the other times. And then right here, the player ends up having to shoot because he's pressured by your players. And you can see you're just a lot more squared up and on angle for that shot compared to the other ones. And there's just a lot less movement forward and backward, which kind of means there's going to be less movement side to side because you're just kind of staying on angle and square and you're letting the puck come to you. And so that's kind of my thoughts on how you're playing these rushes right here is you want to play aggressive, you want to get out there and challenge, but every situation is a little different. If they're skating down the wall and they're kind of pressured by your player, they're not in a great shooting area, you probably don't need to play that aggressive. Now, if it's like a one-on-one or you have a feeling of maybe that player is going to skate around your D and it might turn to a breakaway, then yeah, you should try to probably challenge out a bit more so you can retreat back and get some momentum with you. But one big thing is that, remember this, just like at the start of the video, when the puck is at the other end, stay back in your net. That's just a great habit that the high-end goaltenders have and you want to utilize. So stay back in your net, let the play come to you, like towards like the red line. Let it get over the red line in the neutral zone. Now you got a better feel of the situation, and then you can still get out there and challenge. You might need to rush out a little more to try and get more depth, but now you're going to be on angle. You're going to have a better feel for the play versus starting way, way out by the circle and then having to hustle back as fast as you can to try and get back towards your net and get on angle. Then it's just going to be, you're going to be less in control of your positioning because you're putting yourself in such a tough spot by being way out by the circles right there. So hope this helps. If you have any questions, we'll talk about it, and I'll see you later.